Jim Goodwin is the new manager of Dundee United, but the big question is, will he be able to keep United up this season in the CINCH Premiership?
No chance in hell. No, I'm not feeling it for Jim Goodwin. I think Dundee United are going downtown. And I think it could be the end of Jim Goodwin, personally. I feel like if he gets...
Well, they're not going to kill him, like...
Oh, aye, well, in terms of managerial, Jim Goodwin, he'll just have to go back to his wee Celtic season ticket holder job that he has. But again, I think they will go down, and I think it will be the end of him. I think we won't see him for a while after this. It's a risk. He said that himself, but you've got a guy who, yes, you could say Aberdeen down tools, but I mean, it wasn't good for him either. And Dundee United themselves as a club look like they've down tools. It's not a good mixture, is it?
It's not. It's not. It's really not.
It really isn't, and I feel like, 4 points is the gap to the next team. Stephen Fletcher, when he's your only saving grace, a guy who, look, is trying to be Ibra, but, I mean, he's just nowhere near Ibra.
The Scottish Ibra.
I'm not buying it for 100 days, man. It's not happening.
Well, you say you're not buying it. I mean, he is the top goal scorer. He's doing something. He's the top goal scorer for Dundee United. I mean, come on.
How many goals has he got?
6.
That's hard.
And 28 appearances.
That's shocking, man.
Only 5 of them are in the league, by the way. One of them was a
I'm not saying Stephen Fletcher was ever rated, as God, but I expect it more than that. I mean, that's like... I would have said Stephen Fletcher was way better than Lafferty.
So he's averaging almost a goal every 5 games.
And a lot of them have been penalties here. I'll tell you what, he hit a bicycle kick against Ayshead when I think it was, 7-0 or something?
If you look at the transfer window, Dundee United didn't bring anyone in. They got rid of Tony Watt.
I've gave my opinion. Do you think he's keeping them up?
I think he is, aye.
Who's going down then?
I was thinking about it. And I thought about it a wee bit more. And I think it's going to be Motherwell. I still think it's going to be Motherwell. I don't think Ross County will go down. And I think Kilmarnock's home form will keep them up. And I think Jim Goodwin is in a position where he almost has to keep them up to save his career. Because he's only signed a contract till the end of the season.
That doesn't give me much faith, though.
I think if he doesn't keep them up, I don't think he will be there beyond next season. So for me, he either keeps them up and continues his career at Dundee United, or he takes them down and he leaves at the end of the season.
You think Motherwell, who are 7 points clear, are going down?
I do, aye. I mean, Dundee United have a game in hand. Dundee United can win that. They're close back up to them. Ross County play Motherwell next. Ross County can beat Motherwell and they go level on points with Motherwell.
I'll tell you what, if Motherwell win that game, they're up. They're not going down.
The Motherwell do have the best goal difference out of the bottom 4 by a decent amount, to be fair. So I guess you could say that's technically an extra point.
I mean, what are Kelly doing on -25?
Well, it's not good.
I mean, Dundee United have a 9-0 defeat in there.
Aye.
So, what are Kelly doing? And Kelly play Rangers on Saturday, so that's not going to get any better. But then again, Rangers...
Kelly have been disappointing, like their away form's really poor.
No, it is. I mean, I think everyone literally put them in the top 6. No one put them in a relegation battle.
Yeah.
The people that were getting put in a relegation battle were the likes of St Johnstone, Motherwell.
Yeah, St Mirren. People were putting St Mirren.
No, I never really fancied St Mirren. But again, it's weird because, because there's only 12 teams, you've essentially... Like, I looked at Dundee United, Kelly, Livingston, St Mirren, and you feel like they're all going to do well this season, but see, at the end of the day, one of them has to finish 10th.
Yeah.
And therefore, is that really considered doing well? But for some of them, staying up will be it. But for Jim Goodwin, he's come in, he said he was hard done by. Aberdeen players rung the chairman saying, keep him in a job, he's safe. And then he said they didn't really translate that out on the pitch. What do you think it was? Did the players give up? Or did Jim Goodwin give up? Who was it?
I've already gave my thoughts on this earlier.
Well, put it this way, is he going to be walking across Tannadice in 3 weeks' time, clinically depressed, sacked, or is that not going to happen? Or could it be another park?
Could be an away defeat.
Could it be a trek across Celtic Park?
Could be. Another 9-0.
And there's wee season ticket. See,
Aye, could be. Season ticket seat for Jim Goodwin. Well, it's hard to get season tickets these days, so maybe he should give up the managerial job and just keep the
he must be on seat sub. He could be on that in the managerial position. But anyway, I'm going for he's getting sacked. Well, not sacked, he just won't re-sign. He'll be done at the end of his 6 months. So aye, that is my opinion. They're going down. We'll have a Dundee derby in the Championship next season.
I think they'll avoid relegation. I do think Motherwell will go down. I mean, Motherwell have... I mean, you're forgetting the fact that Motherwell picked up 7 points out of the last 3 games. Without those 7 points, they would be dead last with Dundee United.
Yes.
I know they've got them,
but the fact is, they've brought in a new manager. He's undefeated. And they've done really well.
I know, but that new manager bounce could fade.
Well, it could fade, but I don't think it will. I mean, I look at Motherwell in their next couple of games. I mean, like you said, the Ross County one. Then they're at home to Rangers, away to Hibs.
But the fact is, right, there's a lot of shite teams in that bottom 6. I think once you get to split, it could change drastically. Now, yeah, it might be harder, you know, on a week-basis closing that gap, but honestly, once we get into the split, and it's the bottom 6 teams playing each other, unless someone's a good chunk of points ahead, I don't think they're safe. If Motherwell could be 7 points ahead of Dundee United by the time they get into the split, then I'd say that's a pretty good gap. But anything less than that, because you think about it, most of these teams are kind of in a relegation battle. It's not like maybe there's just 2 teams.
Are St Johnstone safe?
I don't think so. But it would take... You're going to need... I mean, they're only 7... St Johnstone are the same amount of points away from Ross County and Kelly as Dundee United are away from Motherwell.
Well, if you look at it like that, you've got.
No, yeah, you could say that St Johnstone are 11 off the bottom, but they're only 7 after the relegation playoff spot. And I just think once we get into the bottom 6, you know, all these teams are going to be playing each other. It's going to be a lot easier for these teams to pick up wins.
I tell you what though, Saturday's box office stuff, because at 6 o'clock it's Dundee United against Aberdeen.
It's a new firm derby. It's Jim Goodwin against his former club. I, for one, am looking forward to it.
I'll be tuning in on the box office. Can't wait for it. I
won't be paying for it, because the last time I paid for Red TV, I wanted to kill myself. But
it'll be Dundee United TV. You'll pay for it.
I'll pay. I'll give them the money. They need it. Fuck it.
Aye, Jim Goodwin money. He promised big things.
I'll pay towards the severance package at the end of the season.
Yeah, hopefully he batters half the Aberdeen team.
I'd pay to see it.
Triple power bombs through the net.
Well, he can't batter Anthony Stewart because he's been shipped out. So
yeah, questionable decisions. But Aberdeen, they're going to stay up there.
Right. So anyway, this video was about Dundee United. Would they go down? You gave away the answer in the first 20 seconds. Can you just repeat your answer?
They're going down.
Down. I think they'll stay up. I actually think Jim Goodwin's a decent manager. I mean, a lot of people are ripping the piss at him. I don't think he done that bad at Aberdeen. He didn't. I mean, if you look at his home form...
You see their away form?
Yeah, but I think that's an Aberdeen problem, not a Jim Goodwin problem. Aberdeen...
He's a fucking manager, mate. It has to be.
Yeah, I know, but it was shite before he took over as well, you know what I mean? But, I mean, Aberdeen were scoring a lot of goals. They were looking pretty good. I tell you what, it's ever since the World Cup, that is when Aberdeen derailed. I mean, they looked like they were taking 4 points away for the old firm within a few minutes and then ended up taking 0 away.
That's what he said in his press conference.
It was ever since those 2 defeats, they just went on a really bad run of form, and, you know, it is what it is. But before then, let's be real, right? If he takes 4 points, and I know football's ifs and buts and all that shit, but if Jim Goodwin takes 4 points, right, against Celtic and Rangers, he's still in a job, and Aberdeen are probably neck and neck with Hearts for 3rd place.
And you know what, you're right, and who knows what would have happened to Rangers if that happened?
Yeah,
Celtic.
Yeah,
well, I mean, I think Celtic probably would have just dropped 2 points.
But Michael Beale's wee run, when it came to an abrupt end, and you know what? So it's, I do feel a bit sorry for him. But at the end of the day, it's a results-driven business. If you don't get the results, then you know you're going to be out in your ear. So that's it. I think they'll stay up. He thinks they'll go down. I guess we'll find out come the end of the season. Their game in hand, I believe, is against... I think it's against Celtic, which
is an L, so
yeah,
it's not really a Yeah, I mean, most people look at it, oh, got a game in hand, 3 points, that's 8 points.
And it's your first game, manager bounce, you'd want a winnable game, wouldn't you? You wouldn't really...
Well, I'll tell you what, he has to get them up for it. New firm derby, and it's a derby for himself. They jobbed them out.
I think if they beat Aberdeen, they'll stay up.
Yeah, no, that has to be it.
And Aberdeen's away form shite. And it's at Tannadice.
I think
the last time they played Aberdeen, they won 4-0.
I'm expecting a similar...
Although that was with Jim Goodwin as manager.
Atmosphere that they beat ACED in. 1-0. Loads of fans.
I don't think I'll have that many fans, Camden.
That's a joke, though. Like, why can't they actually get that sort of turnout? I tell you what, though, right?
Big question. Were they wrong to sack Jack Ross?
Probably, but...
What position would they be in if they never sacked Jim Ross?
Jim Ross?
Or Jack...
Good old JR.
By God almighty, he's broken in half.
It's JR.
Jack Ross, JR.
What position?
You think they'll still be last?
They've probably been in the championship.
No, I mean, is it not crazy how they got that huge win at Tannadice? One of the best wins in Dundee United's, I mean, recent history, definitely. Probably one of their best wins. And maybe the best win in the last decade. I can't really think of many more major wins they've had. And then, like, about a month later, he was done. He was sacked.
I know. Again, but like I said, I think it pisses me off when you see them, sell out for ACED, but then there's other games that, they're just nowhere near that.
See if you kept that same sort of mentality, maybe your team would be doing better. Same for St Johnstone. They got into Europe that year. They were taking on Galatasaray. McDermott Park was sold out. But any other week...
Does that not feel about 15 years ago?
It does feel about 15 years ago.
Fucking hell, you say that, I'm like, when that?
But the point is, maybe if these fans had to... No, I mean, if these fans turned up every week, like me and you, maybe they would, maybe their clubs would be doing better.
No, actually, I'll say that about Hearts. I think Hearts in recent years have stepped up to the task. I think they're getting way more away fans. They're selling out Tynecastle. But I think you look at, like, Hibs and Aberdeen, they're not doing that. When there's no real excuse not to be doing it.
Aberdeen do bring good away fans, like, I'll be honest.
I'm talking about selling it. I mean, I think Hearts consistently. See, on Instagram, I follow Hearts on Instagram. Anytime it's sold out, we've took 6,000 away fans, 4,500 away fans.
I don't know why Aberdeen don't sell it every game at Pittodrie. Maybe because this fucking smell of it.
Shagging sheep or something.
Maybe Stephen.
Come up with the next plot to shaft Jim Goodwin.
Aye. Anyway, that's it, guys. Till next time. We'll catch you in the next one. Peace.